Hello crafting friends, Stacy here as always, and this is FlossTube Season 8, Episode 9. Since this is coming in November, obviously we had skipped 2 months, possibly, or maybe one of them was the live and then one of them, I don't know. Anyways, this is Episode 9 for 2026. Oh my gosh, 2025. This year has gone fast enough. Why am I speeding it up? Why am I speeding it up? Episode 9 of 2025. And today I have just a little bit of things to show. I'm going to do a little bit of haul, one whip, and talk about whip work day and how my whips are going, and then some finishes that I had, as well as the giveaway winner at the very end. So to kick it off, let's start with a little bit of haul. I don't have a ton of haul, but getting in the mood for Halloween and all of that last month, I did get the threads, some of the threads needed for this Scary Berry by Erica Michaels. I have both Scary Berries. This one called for Simply Shaker colors, or sampler threads colors. Same thing as far as I know, but I got these colors for this. For the other Scary Berry, which is the tiny one that I might stitch twice, once bigger and once tiny. That's this one. I got the week's dye works needed for that. These came from Sassy Jack's Stitchery, and lots of pretty colors for that. Week's dye works. 11 colors. And that is it for the haul that I'm going to show. So all it was some threads to finish kitting up Scary Berries. All right, excuse me for just a second. I'm gonna go put this back. I had also gone to a Halloween craft party that one of my coworkers was having for all of our other coworkers. And the Halloween craft party, myself and one other girl were the only people crafting. Everybody else was just chit-chatting and watching Halloween movies and eating. But she had these cute little coffins that are just a plastic container. And I put some notions in there because I wanted to keep it and use it for something. On to whips. The last time that you had seen this, it was about halfway done. This is Asheville by Awesome Pattern Studio. Now it's a little bit over halfway done. This is what it looks like now. I am going to change the pattern. As you can see on this, there's a train, what we think is a train car. I'm going to remove that and put in a waterfall. And then also, I'm going to put a sidewalk in front of this church to make it a little bit more obvious that this is different building than this. as well as the Biltmore estate down here. I'm going to change the colors on to look more like the Biltmore estate and not a bunch of different townhomes. Because right now, because of all the different colors, it looks a little bit like townhomes, but I'm going to be changing the colors so that it looks like all one building for the Biltmore estate. That is that. I did do a whip work day in October, and I will put that video in. I first finished the Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. It is on, let's see here, Butternut Squash fabric by Fiber on a Whim, and the floss is Fallen Leaves. That looks a really bright yellow in the camera. It's not quite that bright. Let's see here if I can get it true to color. Kind of right about there, I guess, is true to color. It's a little bit more of a mustardy yellow than a pastel yellow or a neon yellow. So that's Butternut Squash by Fiber on a Whim, and this is Autumn Quaker stitched with Fallen Leaves Classic Color Works. That is to go along. I also have winter, spring, summer, autumn. I have a Christmas one. I have Valentine's. And then once I am finished with the Christmas one, which is the only one that I lack stitching, I am going to make them all into little pillows. And here is the stitch log for that Autumn Quaker, and it took me 12 hours and 50 minutes to complete. I did also change, I have a habit of changing things lately, I guess, but I did also change the date that was down here to be just a couple of more leaves and things because I have the date 2025 already on the Winter Quaker. I am unsure if I'm going to start stitching on the Christmas Quaker before the end of this year, just because I'm trying to finish that Asheville that I just showed, hopefully for a gift, possibly, if it's finished. And I am right now at 14 whips, which is pretty low. And at the end of the year, I'm actually going to take 3 whips off of my whip count because there's probably no way that I'll finish them. 2 of them I started way back when I was like a teenager or maybe younger. And so I'll probably never pick those back up, but I've been counting them as whips this entire time. And then the third one is the Disney stained glass, which is yay big, and it'll probably still be a whip on the day that I die. So I am going to delete that from my whip count at the end of this year. All 3 of those I'm going to take off. So that means if I don't finish anything else or start anything else at the end of the year, my whip count will be 11, which is extremely extremely low. Going along with that, I finished the third portion of the hands-on design craft room series, and this is called By the Scissors. It is, like I said, the third one. By the Scissors, life is short. By the Scissors. I made a few color changes on here as well as added sparkle. I added sparkle to this pair of scissors here and these two pair of scissors. Can you see it? I don't know. So I also changed the color of what was on the bobbins down here to my yellow and green that I did on this stitch. So I changed the colors on this one, so I wanted to include a few of those colors on the center one because this one is on the other side. Ta-da! So all three of these, You Say I'm Crafty, By the Scissors in the center there, and I Was Stitching. All three of these are stitched on a piece of fabric that is, I believe it's 32 count, but I dyed it myself. And I would be open to suggestions on what to do with this. At this point in time, I am thinking a long kind of pillow would be good, because if I were to put it into a frame, I really don't know where I would put said framed. Okay, so this was a stitch along that my sister did, Shari, for Hands-On Design Cafe. And that was hashtag HOD Craft Room Sal Stitch Along. And so now all three are finished. Here is my stitching log and information for that. And at the very, very bottom down there, it is my totals for all three of those. So I spent 48 hours and 19 minutes, approximately, because I counted some back stitches, approximately 8,186 stitches, which is an average of 2.82 stitches per minute on all. That's the total for all three of these. Okay. Lastly, I finished another cross stitch wise. I finished another one of those that I was talking about that I started whenever I was a teenager or possibly younger. This is called The Animals Came 2 by 2, and this is for my little cousin. I'm going to gift it to her for Christmas. She is 4 years old. And so I'm also going to give her this to go along with it, because what 4-year-old wants a cross-stitched frame piece? I do have a white frame for it that I need to put it in, and that one is done. I have no idea how much time it took me because I started it forever ago. My favorite parts probably, I definitely like the faces of the giraffes. I like the monkeys, and I like both sets of birds and the rainbow at the top. So that is that one. Woohoo! another finish. I need to get it in the frame so that way she can enjoy that. Now on to finishes and things that I made that were not cross stitch. I had last year, about this same time last year, I had made a quilt for a couple getting married out of very kind of Halloween-y looking fabric. And I made myself a project bag out of the extra fabric. So it is a zipper bag. Woohoo! And so happens to be from that same wedding. These were our takeaways for being their guest. I think it's supposed to be a bottle opener, but it is now a zipper pull for the project bag that I finished. That's my first project bag. Also, I have my Halloween tree lit up behind me. You might have been wondering, why does she have Halloween out? And it's almost Thanksgiving. Just because it has finished Poshta felt ornaments on it. I have, if you can see that, I have a skeleton girl. I'm just going to take these off one by one. So these are an add-on die cutting thing that goes along with the gingerbread men. I have the boy skeleton and girl skeleton. These are again by Poshta Design. Shari let me come into her craft room and just kind of take over her felt. And you can kind of tell from the back where the gingerbread man and girl outline are. And then you just add the bones for Halloween. Okay, and then I have the Monster Mash 3 from also Poshta Design that I finished. You can see them up here. Pay no attention to my my pajama pants, which I'm sure you just saw. Hey, this is like whenever you work at home and you have just the top of yourself put together. Everything below the waist is like fuzzy socks and pajamas and stuff like that. Blankets. So these are the 3 from the Monster Mash die set from Poshta Design. We have Frankie here. I chose to put hair on the back as well. And he has sequin eyes. I have the vampire. Let's see here. Oh, I was trying to decide. This was the first one I put together, and so I was trying to decide if I take the blue all the way around or if I should change it to black for his hair. And I did the blue all the way around, but for the others I did, like for Frankie, I did do the color of his hair on his hair instead of the green all the way around. Oh, also I have sparkly thread to sew his teeth on because his teeth are sparkly. More sparkles. Okay. And I have the zombie. He's my favorite. I thought zombies don't have brains, but this one does. He's a very smart zombie. So he has, like I was talking about before, I went like this with the teal color, and then I put some sparkles in the thread of his Bwainz. And his Bwainz are a little bit sparkly, you can see. And that was a little bit hard for me to wrap my head around, just because with like Frankie, because I did hair on the back, the purple thread is up here. But with this one, if I was to do the pink thread all through his Bwainz, then I had to show pink on the back. But that's okay. Who looks at the back, right? So, that's the Monster Mash. All of these were from Poshta Designs, all these little felt things. And they're all hanging out on my Halloween tree with a few cross stitches and stuff. And next year I'm gonna have even more things on my Halloween tree. Okay, now for the part you've all been waiting for, kind of. For the giveaway of the Bucilla kit Diamond Avenue from the last video, the comment chosen was, by random, was Erica Frazier 6567. So Erica Frazier, if you will please email me at the email listed below in the description of this video and let me know your address and that you are the winner of the Diamond Avenue Bucilla kit. Lots of threads in there. That one's gonna be so much fun. I have pretty much a duplicate of it, not the same brand, but a duplicate of this that I will be stitching at some point in my life. Whenever that is. I might be 100. I would also like to ask Barbara Burdett 9594 to email me at the email listed below in the description as well. You had entered to win this, but I know that you really liked this one, so you'll be getting this in the mail. If you will please email me with your address saying that you won the Frederick the Literate kit by Dimensions. I believe that that is it for FlossTube episode 9. I think I went through it fairly quickly. Hopefully I did not bore you too much. And I will see you sometime in December. I have a little small project that I need to get done before the next 2.5 weeks. So I will have to take pictures of that one because I won't have it in order to show you on the next FlossTube video because it's going for a baby shower. But that's going to be something small that I can show you a picture of on the next FlossTube video. I am unsure if I'm going to do the 12 by 12 this year because I have been struggling to find a day to even do my whip work day, which is 8 projects, much less 12, and I have to work New Year's Eve since it is on a work day for me this year. So I'm unsure if I'm going to do that. If I am, I will put a short little video on here just to show the 12 projects that I plan on working on. But as of right now, who knows? Okay, I am going to bid adieu to you and you and you. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Safe travels if you're traveling. And I will see you at least one more time before the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel as well as ring that little bell down there so that way you're notified whenever I post a video. And if you'd like to, follow me on Instagram at Stacy Noel CP on Instagram, where it's all about my crafting and other things and nothing personal. So I will see you next time. Bye.